Hey, so I got asked recently to make a video about dry beef. Dried beef, like something that you can preserve, that will last, and doesn't even require electricity, right? So here it is. This is the second attempt of this video since um, it's made on its cell phone, and I have nothing whatsoever to make this cell phone hold. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me and understand. All right. So I got a piece of meat. It's around $40 worth of around. Directly at the butcher, because what I needed was actually unavailable. I needed 2 kilos of it, and wherever I went, they didn't have that much. So the good thing about it is that they actually went in the back and they got it from fresh cut, which is a good thing because what is on display, I worked in the field so I know what I'm talking about, is usually what they have stored for quite a few days, and sometimes a little bit longer than a few days. But anyway, that's beside the point. Here's what's gonna happen. You get yourself a piece of beef, anything, as long as it doesn't contain a lot of fat, a lot of nerves, and you will slice it in pieces about, I would say, 1.5 inches on 1.5 inches, something that can give you a good, nice looking salami at the end. Clean it up, remove the fat that is around, if there is any. Once this is done, you can then slice it in the piece that I just showed you. Once sliced, clean up your sink, pour distilled water in there. We don't want to use tap water ever, unless you don't care about it and you don't believe in it. But I think that since I cannot be pregnant, I don't need birth control in my water. So I use distilled water for pretty much anything. I drink it, I cook with it. Since almost 2 decades, and I'm fine. So, as I said, use distilled water, as you can find right here. If you cannot buy it wherever you are, you can also make it. But that's another topic. You can for sure find videos on YouTube on how to make your distilled water. Now, once your beef is cut and cleaned up, put it in distilled water with some table salt, about a good handful of table salt, and let it sit in there for an hour and a half, and you'll see that this beautiful piece that was earlier full of blood, because that's how the industry makes it, is now nice and pink. Am I pink? Do I look pink? I don't know. It doesn't matter. There we go. After an hour and a half, the salt water will have pulled out most of the blood and whatever crap is in there. Then you can take it out, wring it, dry it nicely in a towel. Please use a towel made out of cotton, not something synthetic, since we're trying to make something that has the less synthetic in it. There we go. We got 2 more to do. Do not hesitate to actually really wring it to get the maximum of water out of there. And I will show you in a second what we're going to do. It is really not rocket science. Here's what we're going to do. You can take your container, get yourself some good old salt. Yes, we're going to use all of it. Alright, let's see how well organized I am and how much of a mess I'm able to do by myself. Now, I can hear you people asking already, but how much salt am I supposed to put in there? Well, it's very simple. See how thick that meat is? You want at least 1 time to 1.5 times the thickness of your meat below, on the sides, and above. End the story. Really actually rub that in there, cover it with the same amount. I have 2 more pieces here left, so I will put another thickness of salt on it, lay the 2 others on top of it, and then cover the last 2, and that's it. And then you let this sit in a very cool place or dry place, or if you have no other choice like me, because I don't have the space right now, you can use the bottom part of your fridge. Obviously clean it up and let this sit for a day to a day and a half. If you use bigger pieces, you will have to let it sit for 2 days. Once this is done, take it out, brush off the salt, and then you got 2 choices. If you don't mind the taste of the salt, you can actually just brush the salt off, take a cup, fill it with whatever your liking is about spices that you like, thyme, pepper, garlic powder, anything, so rosemary and basil, whatever you want. Make a good mix. Take a piece of cotton, roll this now hard piece of meat inside your cotton. Make sure the spices cover all the sides nicely, even if there's a little bit of the color, it doesn't really matter. And you will end up with something like this. Yeah. Now it's almost like a piece of stone. Wrap it up nicely. Take some hemp rope, tie it up very tight. All right. There's no blueprint for this. All right. You can tie it up however you want, as long as it's nice and tight and it compresses the meat with the spices and the cloth. Hang it up in I don't know, in a place where you have a constant temperature, like somewhere around between 15 and 19, not more than that. If you have a basement and it's pretty cool and it's a constant temperature, hang it in your basement. It is not a problem. If you hang it wherever you want, hang it in your bedroom if you want to, I don't care. Let it sit for 3 weeks, and that's it. There we go. Now if you want to see what you end up with, I can show you that. Actually, today has been 3 weeks since I made these. Now let's take a look and a cleaner side of what we end up with. There we go. Now, let's grab a clean knife. So, was this complicated? No. And you can take this, okay, throw it in your backpack, run with it for 2 years if you want. Still gonna be good. No electricity needed. There we go. So, I hope should not talk with my mouth full. I hope the video was clear enough. Sorry for the quality. My English is not the best, but hey, the times are of sharing information clear, and that anyone can interpret the right way. All right. Bye all.